Leave it there because we have to actually
pleasure.
go to Irene, because that's where the ANC Secretary General, Ace Magashule, is addressing the media as we speak.
In almost all provinces, we have lost a seat or two. KZN, we have lost 8 seats. Gauteng, we are 50 plus. So we are looking at ourselves and analyzing our strengths and weaknesses, threats and opportunities, so that as we move out here, now that we have appointed ministers and deputy ministers and parliament and speakers, and we will be dealing with chairpersons of committees, we have now decided we need to analyze elections so that when the executive, the cabinet of South Africa and executive councils in all provinces meet, they know, because the reps are here, they know what we have discussed, what is our analysis, what is our understanding, because what is left of us is to go and address those issues, challenges, complaints, problems, protests which people actually embarked upon, and the issues which might have been raised in the media space. Ours is about going back and addressing those issues, and once more, tomorrow is Lekgotla, giving the mandate to our ministers, deputies, premiers, and everybody to say this is the line of march. You are going to address all these issues: township revitalization, the young people, unemployment, inequalities, and above all, unity and renewal, so that as we move forward, we know that we are solid, united, and there are no bickerings, and there are no many voices when we are supposed to talk with one voice. So we are busy with analysis of elections. We are there. That is the only item on the elections. Our performance, why have we succeeded here, why have we not succeeded here? Democracy is maturing for the 8 parties. So you can't expect the ANC to continuously be at 70%, 69%. Democracy has matured. I think that is, in brief, in summary, that's the discussion going on in the House, is elections.
Yes, Lemon Kambutela from Eyewitness News. Just 2 quick questions, SG. You said democracy is maturing. As the ANC, then, are you saying as democracy matures, you don't expect to do dramatically well in terms of electoral support that you get? Are you saying that the expectation is that you will stay within those levels or even go down?
No, it depends how we work. It depends. Remember, 1994, many ones who have voted now were not there. Come after 99, they were not there. Some are born and they were the first-time voters. And I think we are starting to say many of our people did not vote. Younger people, because of weather, some were actually not motivated to vote. Sometimes it's voter education, many spoiled papers. No, the ANC will still regain the ground. Is what do we do moving forward? Are we going to still keep the social distance and continue going to people when we go to elections? Can we keep that regular touch with our people and address the genuine issues rather than dismiss the issues they are raising because they are protesting? For as long as they protest peacefully, we will be able to hear, and we have heard their cries.
Last one.
Let him just take a last bite.
You spoke about addressing the bickering. How are you going to be addressing that? Because it's happening now. You've got senior leaders like Mzwandile Masina calling the president out of order for appointing Pravin Gordhan, Tony Ngeni agreeing with him. These are senior leaders of the ANC. How are you dealing with this?
Those are the things you discuss as an organization. You discuss them internally. You don't invite the media into that space. Part of what we are doing as we analyze elections, we actually talk openly, freely, frankly about all those issues and the issue we are actually raising. It will be a subject of the meeting because that's how the ANC works. We correct leaders, We remind leaders that you are not an individual, you are part of a collective, because that's our culture, that's our tradition. And if you understand it correctly, that's how we must actually do. Sometimes people hear or err because they think they are speaking their minds. Once you belong to an organization, there is no mind of yours. You must speak the collective positions and objectives of this organization.
Okay, wait, comrades. Wait, let's take Moloko.
You're all going to talk today. I've got time for
come
you.
in, and then from there, Zingiswa, you will come in that way. Don't worry. If
I have time for you today.
Moloko, can you come in?
Thanks, the tallest one first.
Yes.
SG, 2 questions. The first one is about the executive mayor of eThekwini. Where, as the ANC, do you stand, given the allegations that came out against SG, going to be discussed? I know you said that was going to be the only item one you were outlined. But secondly, I'm not too sure if you ever responded to some of the allegations that we saw in the Sunday newspapers that the name of the deputy president was actually not in the original list from the commission, and there were suggestions that you possibly could have fiddled with that. Do you mind responding to all those?
Maybe we must ask the IEC to give the names where the public objected. Then you'll actually find the name there from the IEC. There was no name which came from Luthuli. We are responsible leadership, and we are in charge in Luthuli as the SGO. And we do our work without any fear. Yeah.
The issue of the executive mayor?
The executive mayor, in the ANC, we respect different layers. There is a provincial leadership which is dealing with that matter. We'll give it the time to deal with that. We're not going to rush like we have been pushed in the past to deal with people. We are not going to do that. There is the law, natural law, the law of justice, the law of natural justice. We are going to consistently follow that law of natural justice. And that's why we are actually going to discuss even the report of the integrity in a separate meeting, because we want to say a person must be heard. You can't judge and find a person guilty in the public space and you say the person is guilty. We're correcting all those things. They will never ever happen again.
Okay. Let's take Zingiswa and then you come. SG, why don't we just take all their questions and then you answer all of them at once?
I will forget them.
Oh, okay, Zingiswa, come.
Zingiswa from Sunday Times. SG, what is the attitude of the ANC on what some have called an attack on the Office of the Public Protector, which seems like what happened back in the days during the whole Nkandla saga is happening now with regards to the issue of Mr. Pavliko, and both of whom happen to be ANC comrades? What is the line of the party?
Well, people raise their views, but those are not the views of an organization. We respect those institutions, and they must be respected by all of us. Whatever report they take out, we must give that institution, but we must also allow the law of natural justice, as I've said. People has a right if things are on review, but that office and other offices must be respected by all of us.
SG, the deployment or appointment rather of good leader,
it's you afterwards.
Is this a strategy for the ANC to tap into the Western Cape, where you have dismally failed to regain that province from the Democratic Alliance?
Well, we are an organization which actually embraces many South Africans. We work with different political parties. You remember when Comrade Godi was there, we made him chairperson of SCOPA. If you go to Northwest now, we have given, and it was the case even last time, the Freedom Front was chairing legislature and premiers portfolio committee. From time to time, we do work in Gauteng, with IFP. So we saw it wise to include Patricia de Lille in our cabinet. That's how we build and continue building the nation.
Does it not worry you, SG, that she has crisscrossed
from at least 3 political parties. I mean, she's merged one of the first party that she launched. She merged with the DA, and now she's working together with an ANC-led government. Does that worry? Is she?
You know how many people of the ANC have jumped to COPE, to EFF, to something else, to this one and that. They said a lot of things about ANC. They told us where to get off, and finally came back to the ANC and their members. They have been integrated, because the ANC is the parliament, is an organization of everybody. Comrade Khalema used to say, you don't dump people, you only dump incorrigibles. And human beings grow, human beings change. And we allow that a human being is not a flat character. All the time is a round character. So that's my answer to that question.
Yes, yeah, you can come in.
SG, the Integrity Committee's report, did it clear every one of those 22 names? What happened with those names?
You see everybody in Parliament, so we'll discuss the Integrity Commission at the right time, because we don't have time today. But everybody is in Parliament because in terms of the law and in terms of the Constitution, the electoral law, there is nobody guilty of anything, no innocent. So benefit of doubt, everybody is in Parliament who was actually flagged. That's what people are using, flagged by the IEC, not by the ANC, because if you are flagged, IEC, if you did something wrong, if you had a criminal record, it was not going to allow anybody. It has removed one person, IEC, when there were these objections. But the objections against whether it's 22 members of the ANC, in terms of the law, in terms of the Constitution, not what people say out there in the public, in Twitters. Those people, the law of natural justice is the one we actually respect.
But wait,
your colleague.
Your own resolutions in NASREC, I think it's page 21, where it said that if there are reports or allegations of corruption against a particular member, that member needs to step down, step aside until...
Go and read that first and understand it, and read our Constitution, that members have also rights, and members are also like South Africans. Universal principle must also apply to them. So this noise of the media is a noise which I think mistakenly we listen to the noises, and unfortunately we'll deal with many comrades. We must correct ourselves and make sure that we follow the resolutions of NASREC, we follow what the Constitution says, we follow the Constitution of South Africa, we follow the electoral law, and we believe as South Africa in terms of our policy, we deal with correction. We don't punish people. We correct people if they have done something wrong.
Network. From Network. Thank you for taking my question.
You will come.
A few months ago, you said that you were consulting with your lawyers with regard to what action will you take against Peter Louis Myburgh with regard to his book Gangster State. What have your lawyers advised you to do now?
Busy, my brother. You guys want us to rush. The law is something else. I wanted to appear tomorrow. I've got quite good senior counsel, quite good. And they say, hey, listen, a commission is not a court of law. Please don't rush. There are processes. So, as a South African who respects the law, who has rights like everybody, it will happen. Don't rush. Because processes have started, you'll see things unfolding. But it won't unfold as you expect them tomorrow. No.
Yes, Muloko. Zingiswa, and then from there we close.
You have repeatedly stated that the issue of natural justice, and perhaps a lot of people will agree with you. But the whole purpose, if I'm not wrong, of forming the Integrity Committee was to say people must not, as they are fighting whatever allegations they're facing, not drag their name of the ANC into disrepute. Do I understand you to be saying that perhaps, as you say, at a later meeting you are going to discuss this whole issue around the Integrity Committee? That includes possibly even taking some of the powers away from it, or even getting rid of it altogether?
No, we won't take any powers away from the Integrity Commission, because we have established that commission. We are actually just saying there is a resolution of conference, there is a constitution of the ANC. You see, the disciplinary committee of the ANC is in the constitution. So once we appear before the National Disciplinary Committee and Disciplinary Committee of Appeal, in terms of our constitution, the rest of the subcommittees recommends to the National Executive Committee. So nothing different from the Integrity Commission. Remember?
So you don't think the Integrity Committee perhaps is now doing the work that's supposed to be done by the Disciplinary Committee?
No, I don't think so. They are still within their right. They are still dealing with issues of integrity. They are not dealing with issues of innocence or guilt because they are not a court of law. They can't find you guilty or innocent. It's something else. They are dealing with integrity.
Yes, talking about the Integrity Commission, I mean, do you think there's any credibility left to that structure given what we saw with how they dealt with the case of Mr. David Mabuza? I mean, one would assume that others who are flagged, who still have to appear, may, expose it the way that Mr. David Mabuza did and actually come out, smoking.
But why do you deal with the case of David Mabuza when 22, 17, 18 people have appeared before the DC, Nomvula Mkonyane and the rest and the rest and the rest, and they have been treated all the same? The law of natural justice. Wait for that report to come out, then you'll understand the law of natural justice. Don't single out Mabuza, single all of them, so that there is no leader of the ANC who is targeted by the media. Because we don't want to say this one has been targeted by this media and that media and that media. And we'll show proof with time. Because sometimes you as journalists, you are not innocent. You are. It will be proven with time. Sometimes you are not innocent. There is an agenda which people drive. And that agenda will be exposed.
Does that include some politicians perhaps using the media?
Of course.
And you are a target?
No, I'm not a target of anybody. I'm the Secretary General. I'm not worried about anything. I'm doing my work. I'm fixed there. I'm working there. There are no talks of war against me.
Okay,
I'm the Secretary General.
Okay. We're closing it, colleagues. Tomorrow we've got a Lekgotla. It starts at 10 o'clock.
There will be the SG my doorstep after lunch.
After lunch.
Just keep your phones open.
You want after lunch?
Yeah, perfect. After lunch. Okay, that's
lunch
fine.
or before?
All right, that's where we'll leave it there with the ANC's SG, Magashule, talking to the media there on the sidelines of the